Alright, thank you very much for joining me. This is Gulpane, back again. Thanks for clicking on the video. And this is a quick review of a game for the Switch that I got there a while ago called Dead or School. So I got this game thinking that it was a sort of a Metroidvania game, and it kind of is. Obviously it's not as it can't hold a candle to Bloodstained or to Symphony of the Night or anything like those, but it is a pretty addictive game, and the story is really interesting. Well, interesting is the word, or funny, I suppose. It's like a tongue-in-cheek sort of story. So basically you're a young schoolgirl and you're living in a post-apocalyptic wasteland underneath a city. I'm assuming it's Tokyo, and you're in like a lot of subway stations, and you and other people are trying to get back to the top because you want to go to school, and that's why you have a schoolgirl outfit on. And basically there's loads of mutants and enemies you have to kill. You attack, interestingly, you attack with the shoulder buttons on the Switch, with the old Joy-Con. And yeah, one of the buttons is the top right button is for like your sword, and then you change your weapon with the other button. And then the face buttons, the ones you normally have to attack and all, those are like kind of jump and different functions. Well, they're not actually jump. The other shoulder button is jump as well. So it's kind of a weird setup for the buttons, but anyway, it works anyway. It's more like triggers. Like the modern games are using the triggers, but this is an old-fashioned sort of 2D game. It is a bit zoomed. I've said this before when I was talking about this game, but it's a bit too zoomed out. If it was a bit more zoomed in, you could actually see the kind of the graphics a bit better, and the game would look a bit better itself anyway. But the kind of the zoomed out picture, it's very there's a lot of explosions, and you don't really know what's going on half the time. You can't even react a lot of times because you just don't know what's going on. Yeah, when you do get down a little bit of health, then your clothes get ripped off, but your classic anime sort of thing to do, like, and you kind of get a little bit stronger then, or you can set it so that when that happens, you get a stat boost, etc. and all that. Now the weapons in it, there's lots of different types of weapons. There's 3 main weapons that you have. You've got a sword or like a melee weapon, then you've got like a machine gun or a shotgun, and then you've got a rocket launcher. So you got like a weak weapon, a medium weak, and a really strong weapon. So the sword is probably the one you use the most, but the weapons do break, so you need to keep them upgraded. The upgrading screen, it's really funny. She has a little mask on where she does some welding. It's really good. There is loads and loads of different. It's very statistic based, this game. You get like a 5% increase here or a 10% increase there. I find it best just to stick the familiars onto the weapons, and you can just stand there and just have the familiars. They're like little turrets that follow you around. They just kind of attack everyone for you. So the customization in this there's a lot of customization for the weapons. It's overwhelming, the customization. The customization for the character is not too bad because it's just like a chalkboard of abilities, and you just need to get like a certain amount of levels and then assign them to which ability you want. And then basically they're not really that big of a deal, though, I don't think. It's more the customization of the weapons is that's where the kind of the most customization is. The character customization isn't really that in depth. The weapons are, though, significantly, because you can do so much with the weapons. The combat is okay. It's basically just like keep hitting the button while you're right next to the enemies, keep slashing them, and then pick up whatever they drop. The jumping is okay as well, the platforming. In places, though, it's a bit not very refined. It needed to be a little bit more refined, because it's quite easy to slip off the side of a thing and just fall to your doom, or you just basically just reappear like beside the thing you fell off, though, a few seconds later. So it's not too bad. It does get quite difficult at certain areas, particularly certain bosses. They're very, very difficult. If you're not the right level, they just destroy you. It's not very I don't know, you really need to grind in this game. I think that's the main takeaway. Or you need to collect all the weapons, and you need to spend like a really long time figuring out how to level up the weapons properly, and basically how to do that sort of mechanic, or else you won't get very far in the game at all. It is good, though. It is really impressive, sort of it's just such a crazy idea of trying to find this, trying to get to the surface so they can get a school. There are other characters as well that you come across. You have like a little band in each of the subway cars, and then they tell you what to do. You can talk to non-player characters as well, but they're all the same. Every like homeless guy is just a guy holding out his hand with 2 pills in it. So like that's a bit stupid, but oh well. But it does have the Castlevania sort of style, where you basically have to go around to different areas and then get different abilities, or kind of unlock certain doors, and then kind of other areas become open then. So in that regard, it is a good game. But there's better kind of Metroidvanias out there, but this is still pretty good. So thank you very much for joining me for this very quick review, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching to the end, and appreciate you watching. Adios.